Kwabena is the CEO for Quantized. Is Quantized something technology? Fulfillment. I like that fulfillment part of it, you know. And congratulations to your new appointment.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We should. Let's have a toast, you know.
Imaginary. All for it.
That's right. So, Kwabena has been appointed as vice president.
Yes.
For the
IEEE Computer Society.
This beautiful.
Worldwide.
This beautiful. Yeah. This beautiful. You've done so well.
Thank you very much.
So let's start on this note. Today we're talking technology. Kwabena Boateng in the studios here. Oyobia, when it comes to IT, he's well versed, and we're trying to see how best technology can really push industrialization here in Africa, especially for the youth. We'll be looking at robotics and that of AI. Of course, these are fields that most of us are exploring so much, especially with the AI. We've heard about it, but we're still asking ourselves, what are we doing with it as a people? This morning we're here talking about how to make good use of solar here in Africa, especially in Ghana, because up north we have the sun 24/7. But how are we making good use of it? So this morning we're here to talk about technology. And if you're a parent, you should listen to this. If you're a student, you should listen to this, because that is where we have gotten to. So if you miss out, trust me, the future is going to be miserable. And good to have you once again, Kwabena.
Thank you very
Yesterday
much.
something happened. You had this beautiful workshop, if I should say. Tell me about it.
All right.
And the rationale behind it. And then we'll look at your journey, you know, to where we are today.
Fantastic. Yes, indeed, yesterday, the African Diaspora Nations Robotics and AI Innovation Hub hosted Angels Reach School. That was our very first cohort of students, 7th grade students who we took through an introductory session on robotics and AI. And the point of all that, the point of the Robotics and AI Innovation Hub is the urgency of now, even as we go through an AI revolution. The world is going through an AI revolution. And the gap between what is happening on the West, whether it's in the United States, Europe, and the like, and what we have over here, it's huge, right? As it pertains to how we incorporating AI in business for value creation, how we incorporating AI for productivity and all that. So the context of the times calls for urgent action. And it all needs to start with the youth, young people. They represent our future, right? So the Innovation Hub, the workshop we did yesterday, was about exposure.
Okay.
And through that exposure, having these young students engaged and hooked at a very early age to see themselves as creators, as inventors, as innovators, understanding the engineering design process, right? And situating learning within the context of local challenges, experiential, project-based. And that's what we did yesterday, introducing them to robotics, to AI, and truly they were hooked. And, you know, I left with this impression that our future is indeed very bright, because they're so smart, right? It's just a matter of exposure and opportunity. And I'm glad we were able to do that yesterday, and we'll keep it going.
So how many youth were there participants?
We had 25.
25.
25.
Ages?
Within the ages of about 10, 11 from Angels Reach School.
Wow.
Engaged.
Wow.
Boys, girls, and some of the exceptional folk were girls, right?
Wow.
So the exposure is critical, and it just underscores the need to scale this further. Okay. And here I want to recognize folk. I don't want it to seem like I just appeared on the scene, like nothing is happening on the ground. There are people doing amazing things on the ground, whether it's Coral Reef Innovation Hub, Bountiful Technologies. I have been impressed by what I
you've
have
seen so far.
on the ground, and the willingness of the leaders across these organizations, like yesterday said a year ago, to collaborate, right? I think it is exceptional.
Wow.
And the nation and the West African region stands to benefit immensely from that type of collaboration and scale. Yeah.
Wow. Now, the fear from the very introduction of our conversation has to do with the gap. You understand? That is a fear, looking at where they've gotten to and where we are. So what I'm asking is, aside their exposure, as we've talked about, what do you think are some of the pragmatic steps we need to take as a nation to really close the gap? And is it an African challenge or something pertaining just to Ghana in terms of the gap?
Well, I believe a huge part of it has to do with willingness, right? And prioritization.
Okay.
Right. And changing curriculum. And I believe that is happening already, because I hear of a number of initiatives underway. STEM,
sure.
Model STEM schools,
sure.
Tablets being
Giving
distributed, right, from a government perspective. But I think this is something that also requires individual agency, all right? Having technology skills empowers you to access the global marketplace. You can be in Ghana and you'll be supporting, once you have the right skill set, you'll be supporting a business somewhere and earning good money to live in Ghana.
Sure.
And cushion yourselves from the shocks of what your local economy may be experiencing, right? So it's a great opportunity for people within the country. It's a great opportunity for the government, right? For the nation as a whole. And we shouldn't play with it. So I see the efforts being made to democratize access through the education system, but it requires leadership from the home, parents, from our busuapenis, from our chiefs, pastors, right? It needs to cut across. We cannot delegate the agency, outsource our agency to government alone, right?
But the point is, how well do we understand the whole technological world, and then we projecting it into the future? That is, for me, where the challenge is. But then again, you being there, aside this sharing of tablets by the government and then I don't know if you visited any of the STEM schools. Have you tried visiting any of them?
I haven't visited any.
You have not visited any of them. So help me know from where you are coming from, and then understanding the gap between us and then that of the Western world. What do you think, beyond giving out the tablet and co, what do you think should be the core focus as far as the STEM project that we have introduced should be, that you believe can help push us there?
It has to be a holistic approach, right? It has to do with curriculum.
What do you think should be in there?
The curriculum should be such that you have project and experiential based learning that is pertinent to challenges that we face in Ghana. Right? Number two, the instructors, they have a huge bearing on the experience of the students. So making sure that we have trained teachers in frontier methodologies of education, right? So that we don't push people away based on a single track approach
Okay.
to education.
Okay.
People are different. They learn in different ways. So understanding the type of students, the type of learners you have, and adapting curriculum and the learning experience to how they learn. Some people are visual, some people
are audiovisual, some are quite practical, so they would want to have the gadget with them.
Yeah, so we need to be very attuned, right? So the philosophy of education, pedagogy, and being attuned to who you serve and making the necessary adjustments, because at the end of the day, everybody is smart. That's what I believe.
Sure.
Everybody has a superpower.
That's right.
All right. So adapting, realizing that and adapting to the student styles of learning, and you'll be amazed what comes out of that.
Beautiful.
So you got that part of it. So teacher education, curriculum, right? Then infrastructure is also very important.
Very, very.
Right? And the reason why I'm excited and very excited is these advancements in AI, metaverse constructs and all that allows us to take some of this into the virtual world. Immersive experiences where someone may not have a big robotic arm in their lab, in their school. It's expensive, but you can have digital twins. The physics-based simulations of exactly the same thing, right? You need the infrastructure from a national perspective, university perspective, but once you do that, you can immerse people in these experiential metaverse settings, leveraging digital twins, and they can equally have that hands-on experience in those environments.
That's right.
So that's what technology is enabling today, right? The other aspect of it is you can also, we talk about brain drain and all that, but when we set things up right, we can also leverage the African diaspora.
It's true.
There are a whole bunch of African diaspora members who are tech experts.
And eager to come support the system.
That's right, right?
Sure.
So we need to architect a system which allows them to, again, through this metaverse construct, visit classrooms, all right? Even if it's not a classroom after school, meeting online, and just having conversations, mentoring, coaching, because it's a tough road.
It is.
Right? You need mentors, you need coaches along the way, and engaging the diaspora in this way, I believe, is something that would be helpful. And that's actually something African Diaspora Nation is looking to do outside of any governance framework, right? Like, not necessarily to the government channel, but African Diaspora Nation is focused on these innovation hubs are not going to be all over the place, right? The innovation hubs are on-ramps to what will eventually be a metaverse environment, immersive, leveraging digital twins, physics-based simulations, and a force of diaspora tech talent who are willing to volunteer. That's what we build into, right? This is just the start, because whatever we do needs to be scalable.
Should be.
Right? And once we work out the introductory aspects, this initial run, we want to scale and scale fast.
Sure.
Because the times call for that.
It's true. So we'll look at how fast we're going or how slow we're going as far as, bridging the gap is concerned. But then, people are asking whether Kwabena Boateng can speak the Chi. The little Chi we had here in the studio, I wasn't comfortable with that at all.
Oh, but it's cheap.
What today?
I am a young person and for one that's me to make a cheer.
Come now, back to Quantize. Now, Wabuai and Kakra with what quanti fulfillment technology is in here for.
Okay.
All right, so that Ghanaians will know how to relate to your firm. But you see, most of the times, no, come now, you come robotics, AI now. It sounds so huge in the minds of many people. It doesn't look that common here. You understand? I remember not too long ago, now you hear AI, you know, in the field of media, how it can help, and people. After we've gone through the lesson, like, oh, but it's something very close to us.
Yeah.
But we see so far
Yeah,
from us.
yeah.
So, to my viewers out there, make it simple. Maninye, to the layman's point of understanding, robotics, AI, to the African child, what are we talking about?
Well, you cut AI, and one is war machines and our computers that have been trained to mimic human reasoning, just that they don't get tired. They are, you know, based on
Constantly
data.
energized.
Constantly energized and learning. And ultimately, they're not coming to, you know, the construct within which I see it is, it's not here to replace us, but to enhance our capability and make us more productive, to make us more creative, innovative, help us in our execution, right? So ultimately, AI, I say embrace it as a tool to help us extend our capabilities, right? One way I could envisage, when it comes to robotics, same thing. It's not BBA who be and one is sensors, which is how robots perceive the environment. So says na ye we ni and ye wo hone ne sanema no. A mechanical device which is able to take inputs and get a sense of its environment, right? And be able to take some decisions based on programming and logic. And then that's what you call the compute part, the logic running on the compute. And then some actuation and manipulation, which is either making a tire spin or grabbing something, right? And what these things come to do is to enable us do more. To do things faster, to remove
the stress we go through in getting things done.
Right. People are getting hurt because they have repetitive stress from physically doing some things over and over again. In some places, and that may not be a problem here, but they don't even have enough workers. Right? In some parts of the U.S., they're not having enough people to drive forklifts.
That's right.
So it's bottlenecking business. It's creating a bottleneck for business growth and expansion because you're not finding the people. The demand for the services
is very high.
Right? So the robotics to fill some of those gaps.
The spaces and get the job done as far as productivity is concerned.
From a productivity perspective.
Now, conversation also with AI some are saying that AI is making us lazy or has come to make us lazy, especially when it comes to editing, for instance, in my field, where you can just type in your mind and then the AI will now make sure say actually run it properly for you and all that. So people are thinking that it has come to make us lazy. You would explain that one for us. And I think Ghana, have we been able to build any robots so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I've seen students.
Meaningful ones?
Build it. Yeah, so right now it's mainly been
being built here.
It's mainly been in the
as a piloting.
As pilot, prototype, student projects. I haven't heard much of companies over here utilizing robots. I'm sure they do in oil and gas, particularly, right? It is a pretty sophisticated field. They have underwater robots that they use to go turn valves.
The knots and all that.
Yeah, I don't think it was built here, but Definitely, we're using them within those contexts.
Okay.
And again, it's got to do with application and what companies themselves are seeing as opportunities within their domains, right? And then it also needs to make sense from an economics standpoint.
That's right.
Right. And see, so there are some things that companies need to evaluate themselves from a safety perspective. Are we putting our employees in harm's way doing dangerous tasks which could be taken over by robots and the like? Now, as to the point about
it's making us lazy.
It has to do with agency, right? I have a lot to do. So it depends on the person. I think I have a lot I want to accomplish. And I see these tools as helping me go faster.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If someone, it's not the fault of AI if someone is lazy. Right?
You have chosen to be lazy.
You have chosen
but AI has come to help you be more innovative.
Exactly, right?
And possibly productivity increasing.
Absolutely. You can do more within a short time with these tools, which is exciting and should be exciting to us as Africans because it means that we can leapfrog.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
From a coding perspective, very soon, and it's already happening. You don't need to be an expert coder, just as you're talking to me. If you can define what you want the code to look like to help you, just by speaking it to an AI engine, it will write the code for you. Fantastic.
There you go.
You're closing the digital divide. You know how long it took someone to learn how to code?
But now it's been made
20
easier.
years or so, right? Now you can, it's already here. It's not that it's coming, it's already here. That's why the CEO of NVIDIA said the digital divide is over. It requires putting it in context.
Okay.
But the reality is, it is over. We live in unprecedented times. So something it took people 20 years to learn.
It takes some people some minutes.
Now you can generate that code that quickly, right? It tells us that we have a unique opportunity to leapfrog in our development. It tells us that we have a unique opportunity to empower our workforce to access opportunities globally. Revolutionary, right? So it's about opportunity, it's about access, and the national agenda should be about, and I see some of that going on, democratizing access.
That's right.
To these facilities which will enhance our learning experience.
It's getting interesting. The conversation is getting interesting. But if I'm not careful, I'll not give you the opportunity to talk about Quantizedft fulfillment technology.
Okay.
We have a lot to talk about. When I was told that we're going to have this conversation, a lot was running through my mind. I had thousands of questions to ask, but unfortunately, we do not have the whole day to do that. So let's talk about Quantizedft. Then when we're back after that one, we look at how slow or fast we're going as a people. So help us.
All right.
Quantized fulfillment technology.
So
what are we in for?
Yeah, Quantized fulfillment technology is a for-profit business that I established, kicked off just about a month ago.
Whoa.
My background has been that of instrumentation, process control, automation, robotics, and then safety and regulatory compliance within those domains in addition to that, right? So just as of 2 months ago, I headed safety and regulatory compliance for Amazon's robotics fulfillment technologies division, right? So Amazon, if people don't know, has the biggest robotic fleet in the world, and that is part of the secret, which enables you to order something and have it delivered either the same day, the next day, and the like, right? So as in the division where we designed these robots, which facilitate that fast customer experience, and which also address some of these scale issues to do with finding people to do the work and the safety aspects of it. So I was involved in that, and my team was integral to the whole product development process. We make sure that the robotic designs are built around a respect for the dignity of people.
Sure.
Because these robots, you can build them and they can be unsafe. They can hurt people.
Yeah, they can harm you.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on what you program.
Yes.
To do.
Yeah. So my role there was centering safety and dignity in the design.
Wow.
Right, of the robotic systems, and then going to third-party assessors like a TUV, Underwriters Laboratory, a nationally recognized test laboratory, and presenting a case that these robots we built are safe, and they will work and fail in a way which guarantees to a very high degree the safety of the people who are working around.
Now you're a national asset.
So you have to present a safety case to these regulators, and the safety case needs to show that right from conception, you did a risk analysis, you identified risk reduction measures that need to be incorporated into the design, and those flowed into your architecture, your safety architecture for the system, safety requirements, the whole design, verification, validation phase of a system, that at every stage you considered safety, you specified to safety requirements, you tested that the product was meeting those under different conditions, whether under electromagnetic interference and all that, the system still works, right? So after you do all these things, you package it and you present a safety case to an external assessor. And then from a company perspective, the company feels comfortable scaling the deployment because there's risk that the company may be exposed to if the robot goes to hurt somebody or kill somebody, right? So that's what I did. So Quantized Fulfillment Technologies, in one part, is my consulting service to supply chain, whether it's robotic fulfillment centers, supply chain businesses, on how do you make sure that your robotic solutions are implemented, designed and implemented in a safe way,
manner,
and helping them get certification from a product perspective, from a functional safety perspective. Right? So I provide consulting in that space, and Quantized Fulfillment Technologies is registered in both the United States and over here. Right?
In Ghana?
Yeah, it's
so
also
just
registered
in
Ghana.
America and in Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You're thinking of doing something for Africa?
Yeah, so essentially from these places, I can access opportunities across the African continent.
Okay.
Right. But I must say that for now, a lot of that demand is on the U.S. and Europe.
Ghana.
Yeah, and Europe.
Okay.
What we want to do with Ghana within this domain is to train people.
Great.
Because not too many people
are well-versed in this area.
In this area, right? So what we want to do from a Ghana perspective is to train people through the same AI and Robotics Innovation Hub to have the skill set which is in global demand, right? So that they can service.
Just like what is going on.
Yeah. So
this is what happened yesterday,
yeah,
right?
so this was yesterday.
Great.
This was yesterday. The students working on various robotic activities and learning how to use the Scratch programming. You got to program these robots. So this is introductory. They were learning how to program, and also going through the engineering design process, right? Conceiving something, translating what you conceive into something very practical.
Meaningful.
Right? And they had a good time.
And looking at the ages, it's quite encouraging because we start with them at a very younger age, and they become like a part of the system. They can understand it better, in terms of its operation, its understanding and all that. But you're talking about training you know. So, question me busani say, omo mutie and the training no, cause saying how do we take advantage to be a part, because and come on ya bunyi na with all that you've told us, our major interest to be a part of what you're doing
Absolutely.
as far as the future is concerned. So help us. You perceive be a part of this very training. What do we do?
Yeah, so you go to www.africandiasporanation.org, or you can go to our social media handles. We also have a phone number that people can access. So you go to our website, we'll be listing upcoming training sessions over there. Some will be virtual, some will be in person.
Okay.
Right? We list them over there. You can connect. We have different approaches. Some will be individual, assembling individuals. In some cases, we host schools, like we did yesterday with a school. We host schools at our center. And in some cases, we can also take it on the road.
Wow.
Right?
Come on, give us a number, because if you have the number here, just give us a number. So those watching us who would love to be a part of this training can call for further information.
Yes, absolutely. So the number is 020-876-8412. Again, it's 020-876-8412.
12.
And
can we take it again?
Yeah, it's 020-876 8412. Right. And if you forget all this, at African Diaspora Nation across Facebook, Instagram, or you go to the website, you have the information.
Kwabena, honestly speaking, once again, congratulations for your new position. So
Thank
grateful.
you.
I must also say that with the little we've talked about, you are a national asset.
Oh, thank you for that.
I want to assure you that all that we've said here would make sure authorities would hear about them, especially talking about the STEM program, the input you've made so far, the fact that we should also be looking at the children, their interests, the way they are, so that we can, our education will be tailored towards the way they think as a people. So at the end of the day, we give equal opportunities to every child, that we can all grow, you understand?
Absolutely.
We've also talked about the fact that Africa would have to be running as far as the technological world is concerned. I think that we should be closing the gap. So I asked the question, how fast or slow are we going as a people?
Well, it is all up to us at this point. We stand, the opportunity to leapfrog has never been this great. Right? We talked about coding.
We talked about, yes.
It took 20 years for someone to develop the expertise, 10 years for someone to develop the expertise. Now you can literally code just by giving your requirements, descriptions. Right? So you have leapfrogged many years when you think about the context of
so many
20
miles
years ago.
in a short while.
And it cuts across disciplines, right? So it is left to us, the opportunity to leapfrog, the technology has enabled us. It is left for us to have the will to say we're taking advantage of this unique opportunity, and we're not just closing the gap. It's really not a reference to maybe another people group or country, but within the context of our own challenges we have as a country, that we're leveraging this to address them
effectively and efficiently.
And beyond that, being relevant to our regional context, to the African context, and to the global context, right? I think that's a unique opportunity we have, and I see signs on the ground, particularly with these innovative tech ecosystem players, Coral Reef Innovation Hub, Bountiful Technologies, right? I see signs on the ground that a lot is already I'm very hopeful, right? Particularly the culture of collaboration
Wow.
that I'm seeing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our time is almost up. Our time is almost up. But then producer just spare me this one. A minute or two for Kwabena. So this one, Since you came, have you had the opportunity of meeting with any governmental agency, speaking with them about what you think should be done? Have you had the opportunity?
No, haven't done that yet. I plan to meet with the Institution of Engineers before I head out. Before I got here, I had the opportunity to speak. I think he's no longer in office, the Minister for Tourism, Awal Mohammed. He's no longer in office, but engage some stakeholders around that. But that will definitely be ongoing.
Kwabena, I wish we would have you another time, and that one will talk just about you. We'll talk about your journey.
Absolutely.
Understand? So please expect my call. We're going to have you here because you are an inspiration to a lot of African youth watching us today. So that would be you, where you started, the things you've experienced, and how it has helped you as a person. And then we'll look at how we can use technology to drive our agri sector. Because for me, that is the most important.
Indeed.
For me, that is the most important.
Health,
for me, I think if we're able to use technology to drive these sectors, the unemployment rate will definitely be minimized. So, I mean, today we've talked about you, but we're meeting again, and it's going to be you. Promise me you would come.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. If I'm not here, we can definitely Zoom in.
No, but you'll be here because it's going to be anytime soon. We would have you here to talk about Kwabena Boateng and that his journey so far. And we profess some solution to our sectors as far as technology is concerned. But thanks to having you here today.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks to the audience too. Really appreciate it, sir.
Great. So that's Kwabena Boateng. He is the CEO of Quantizedft Fulfillment Technology, and also with the African Diaspora nations. We've talked more about technology. We've looked at AI and that of robotics. But like I said, we're going to have him again, and we're talking about him, and then we look at how AI and now that technological devices can help push sectors like agri and that of health. So.